All right. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session, The Smarter Way to Quote Bundles. And it's great to have you all here. My name is Laura, and I'm head of content at Elefante RevOps. This webinar is hosted by Elefante RevOps in partnership with PandaDoc. And our goal today is to show you how to make your coding process smarter and more efficient. Because the whole problem is many sales teams struggle with losing control of their product catalog, not being able to manage complex pricing or configuration easily, and spending way too much time creating and updating quotes. So if that sounds familiar, you are definitely in the right place. So let me head here to present the solution. I'm here with Sílvia Rosado from PandaDoc and Samuel Carneiro from Elefante RevOps. They are both solution engineers. They will walk you through how the solution works. And at the end of the session, we will open some time for a Q&A. So throughout the presentation, feel free to write your questions in our chat, okay? And just to present here, just super quickly, an intro about Elefante RevOps. We help B2B companies optimize their revenue operations, connecting marketing, sales, and post-sales processes to accelerate growth and efficiency. Sílvia, could you please introduce PandaDoc, and then feel free to show us the solution, and enjoy the webinar, everyone.
Hello, everyone. So I'll be touching on PandaDoc. We're an all-in-one document automation platform that empowers businesses to create, send, track, and e-sign documents. And our integration with HubSpot helps teams save time by automating the document creation process, tracking statuses in HubSpot, and bringing in data so you don't need to manually copy data to and from HubSpot. So I'll be doing a quick demo just on our core product on how to generate templates in PandaDoc, edit them, some pricing, quoting tables, and signing that all in PandaDoc, which is a few of the things that you would need to set up before using the integration with PandaDoc and HubSpot. Okay, so over here, I'm in PandaDoc, and this is our home dashboard where you see documents you've created, any actions you need to take, and documents that have been finalized. So over here, what you typically start with is creating a template, and you can create a template from either blank a template or from a gallery. And when you create a template, this is typically what you would create your documents from. Here, I'm going to create a template from Template Gallery, and we have pretty big template gallery that you can just pull a template from and from there build the template that you would like. Here, I'm going to build off of a template that I already had, and I click here, add item. And when you start a template, the first thing you would want to set up are some roles, which would be the people interacting with the document once you create it. Automatically creates a sender role, and then you can add a client role or as many roles for the people that you would want to interact with the document. And then you can also set signing order or approvals. Once you've set up your roles, you can get to building the actual template, which is all composed of input or content blocks that you have over here on the right, or fillable fields that could be filled out by either any of the roles that you had created. So over here on the left, we see some text blocks that have been added, and these in the square brackets that are highlighted, these are variables that will automatically be populated by either the roles, the people that will be signing, or they can also come in automatically from HubSpot. So down here, if we scroll, say this is a proposal template, you have a company overview, say instead of this image, I want to use a video. So over here, you just click and drag the blocks, add a video. And to add this video, all you would need is to click and then you paste the URL. Add it in there and you can view it directly from the template or from once it is sent out. And then say for this proposal, I also wanted a scope of work page. So I can add another page here, just a blank page, click and drag a text block to add my scope of work here. I can also add a description, click and drag fields. Maybe I want to add a table for some challenges and some goals. And I can either pre-populate these fields or have whoever's sending the document add them specifically for the company that the proposal is going out for. And then say I also wanted to add another table for deliverables and timeline, but I already have one that has been used across multiple documents. And that's when a lot of users will leverage what we call our content library, which is exactly what it sounds like, just a library of content that can be used across multiple templates or documents. And here, see, I already have one for deliverables and timeline. I just click it, it's added automatically to my document, and it can be reused across templates or documents. I can also say I want to reuse this whole page in another template. I can easily add this to my content library by clicking on these 3 dots, add to content library, give it a name, and then just add it. And then it can be referenced here, add more content, content library. And here I have the new one I just added. So that's really great for keeping things uniform across documents and reusing so you don't have all your users building these tables. And then we have details and pricing. We can add a pricing table here. And in here, we can add products directly from a product catalog, or we can set up a sync, an integration with HubSpot, which is what this one is set to do. All you would need to do here is in the properties, set up data merge, and it'll pull in the products directly from HubSpot and give you all your totals and document value. But Samuel will show this in more detail on how they're bringing in over the products from HubSpot. And then we get to say another page for the agreement, which is typically where you would add signature fields. And this is where we leverage the fillable fields for each role. So here for the sender, which would be myself, you can just click and drag a signature box, add it there, and then say a date as well here. And then for the client, you just toggle between the roles, client, also add a signature field and a date. And then we would be ready to create a document from this template. And that's as simple as clicking this over here at the top, use template button. We click it, it asks us to fill in the recipient, the roles that we had created. So for the client, I'm just going to put my colleague Zoe here, hit continue. And then we see that those variables, which were previously in square brackets and highlighted, auto-populated based on the roles. So prepared for Zoe, prepared by me, all of that is pre-populated, and then we just have our signature fields. In order for this to pull in the products from HubSpot, it needs to be linked to a deal. But again, Samuel will touch on that a little bit later on. And then here we hit continue, and then it takes you to the interface to send out the document. Just if you want to send it by email, you can change the subject, change the name of the document, and enter a message. You can also send the document by a link. So you can create custom links for each user so that it can be registered who is signing where. And then we hit finish. The document has been, say I had copied the URLs and I send that document, then I can go to my document and we have an audit trail where you can track if the document has been seen, how long they spent on each page and when they signed. And with that, I will hand it back to Samuel.
If you want to use all those features that Sílvia just presented to us, using HubSpot and PandaDoc, the first thing that we have to do is to integrate, to sync both platforms. And that's really easy to do. We can just do in a few clicks. All we have to do, let's say that we are in a template here, we have to click in extensions, and then in integrations and choose the software that we want to integrate. With PandaDoc, in this case, it's HubSpot. We just select HubSpot, we click on connect, and it will be already redirect to HubSpot where we can choose our org and enable the integration. It's 2 different integrations, one for the data sync, another one for the automations that PandaDoc runs using HubSpot, but that's really easy to do. We just need to enable, and we will be ready to create our documents directly from HubSpot and bringing the data from HubSpot to PandaDoc automatically. So after do the integration, if we come back to our template, we are able to see all the variables from contacts, companies, and deals from HubSpot directly in PandaDoc. So we can add to our template, and that data will be populated automatically when we create a doc. That's really easy to do. It's like 5 clicks to integrate both platforms, and we are ready to create our documents in HubSpot. So I'll show you now how we can create this document. If you're in your process of sales, you are used to add line items directly from HubSpot and create everything you need on your deals. To create the documents, it will be the same. So you have the deal, you have contacts and companies associated with that deal, and you want to quote some line items. You will select your line items as you are used already to do. So from your product library on HubSpot, let's select here some line items that we want to quote for that deal. We add that, we save the amount, and we are ready to create the quote. In the right side, we have PandaDoc tab where you have the option to create a document there. If we click there, we will see all the templates that we created before on our PandaDoc account. So you can have multiple templates, one for each process that you want. So you can have different quotes templates, you can have invoice templates, packing slip templates, any documents that you need to present. You can create a template for that and use when you are creating the document. Here we select the person that is sending the document, in this case it's me, and the client that will receive the document. HubSpot will send right now all the information that we have and that we need from the contacts, companies, and deal in the document itself, and it will populate the template. So before we have the yellow variables, and now we have the real information from HubSpot. We have the name of the companies, we have the name of the client, we have the name of the deal, any information that we store in those objects in HubSpot, we can bring. And here we can also see in the table all the line items that we added in HubSpot. So this is the line items that we want to quote, and they are present in this table. We can format the data that we want to present for each line item. All here, all the information, and we can do the sync back as well. So if you want to change some information directly in the document and update that information in HubSpot, that's also possible. Okay, so that's how we create a document. We can sign and send the document just like Sylvia showed us. And now what I want to present for you is if you need to present custom object, we already see that we can present any information from contacts, companies, or deal directly from HubSpot to PandaDoc. But if for any reason you need some custom objects inside your HubSpot and you need to present that data in the documents as well, we can do that. So in this example, we have the same deal here, but now you can see that we have a custom object here called train. So before in the quote, we presented some line items, and one of the line items, it was a training software. But let's say that in this custom object here called training, we store information about the training itself. So the name of the training, the instructor, how much time it takes to give the training, the format, and so on. And that we want to present that on our document. So let's quote some line items, including the training software, but also we are going to present the information for the trainings itself. So let's select here some line items, including the training software, and we will create a document as in the same process that we created before. We select the templates that we want to create that document, select the person that will receive and the person that is sending the document, and we should be able to see all the information being pulled from HubSpot to PandaDoc. So we have here the document, all the information from contact, deal, and company, but also now we have a table here that is pulling information from training. So we have here the training name, description, any information that we want to bring from a custom object directly to the document. And what we are using to present here is the table of contents. This table of contents, we can present anything that we want with conditional logic. So I can put a condition, for example, if I have a training associated with that deal, present this table. If there's no training associated with the deal, we will not present in the table. We can do the same thing with images and videos and any other content, even other documents. If we want to present, for example, the privacy policy or the contract terms, we can use conditional logic to present or not the content. Okay, but now let's talk about the main subject here, that is bundles. As you know, HubSpot doesn't have the feature of bundles, so you cannot manage bundles there. If you want to create bundles, if you want to select a bundle or anything, you cannot do that. You don't have this option. If you want to create bundle product, what actually you have to do is to create a new product, put on the name that it's a bundle, and in the description, you can include the line items that are included on that bundle. But that's not actually a bundle, it's just a product that you named as a bundle. But we developed a process where you can have real bundles, a product that include other products from HubSpot. And I'm going to show you here. So here we are in the same deal, and we want to now quote a bundle. So one package that includes other line items. So let's select the line items that we want inside the bundle. So let's take here some software, some accessories, and a desktop as well in this example. And our bundle will include everything. We'll include the desktop, the software, the accessories, everything that we need for that kit. We can rearrange the line items in the positions that we want. So we can let the desktop first, and then the accessories, and in the last the software and the installation of the software, for example. And now how we create a bundle. We will create a new product. We will name it what we want to name. So for example, desktop package or something like that. And we will select one property that will say for the automation that it's a bundle. So we select there the new bundle. The unit price here doesn't matter for us. And that's it. We will put this item in the first position. So we have here desktop professional kit and all the line items that are included on that kit, on that bundle. We can save the deal amount and we are ready to create our document. Everything we need to do is the same thing that we did before to create the documents. We go to the PandaDoc tab and we create it. What we expect here, when we create the document, we expect showing the price for the package, but all other line items showing included instead of the price. So that's our bundle. So we are quoting package itself and not each line item. So let's select here the client and let's generate the document. If we go to the products inside HubSpot, we will see that a new product was created with the name that we select. And that product we will be able to use after as a real bundle. But let's generate the document and see what happens. We have all the information that we bring from HubSpot as we know already. And if we go to our pricing table, we will see that now the price only shows for the first line item, for the desktop professional kit, but all the other line items are showing included instead, and not the price. We are quoting the bundle itself and not all the line items. Well, that's cool, but you could do it anyway. You could just select create a new product inside your HubSpot and then change manually instead of showing the price, showing included. That would work for one document. But now I want to show you how you can use the bundle that you created before in a new deal. So let's see. Now we're going to a new deal. You can see here that we have the same contact and company associated, but it's a different deal. We don't have line items associated with it, and we don't have any document here. But let's select the bundle that we created before, and only the bundle that we created. So the desktop professional, it's only one line item that we would need to select. And let's generate the document. So we select the desktop professional kit that we created before. And here we're going to do the same process, creating the document and choosing the right template and the person that wants to receive and wants to send the document. And well, what we would expect to see is the line item that we added to the deal. But while we are creating this document, an automation is running in HubSpot and it's adding all the line items. It's adding all the line items that are included in that bundle in the deal. So before we selected only one kit, one product. But if we refresh the page on the deal now, we will be able to see all the line items that were included in that kit. So we have the desktop, we have the accessories, and we have the software. And everything happened automatically by the automation. Now we can go back to the document that we created. We can select the HubSpot icon here and we can refresh the data. We can bring all the data that was updated in HubSpot again to PandaDoc. And here you go. We have again all the line items that we want to present included in that bundle, only selecting the bundle itself, only selecting one product. And that's cool, because if you have multiple items associated with a product, with a bundle, you would select each one of those products. If you have 20 or 30 or I don't know how many items you have included in a bundle, you would have to select each one of those. But if you have already a bundle created, you can just select your bundle and all the other included line items will be associated automatically. If you want to quote bundle and non-bundle products at the same time in your document, that's not a problem. We can go back here in the deal that we used before. We can add some line items that are not part of the bundle. So let's select for example, laptop that are not included in the bundle for the desktop. And let's select here, laptop, two new line items that are not part of the bundles. So what the document should show us now is the price for the package, the line items that are included in the package, and the information that they are included. And for the laptops that are not included in the bundle, it should show the price of the laptops because they are not included. So we can go back to the document that we created before, and how I said we can refresh the data from HubSpot to PandaDoc without generating a new document. And it's here. We have the price for the package. You can see here. We can have all the line items included, and we have the price for the line items that are not included. And here is the total price, summing the price of the laptops and the package. So if you want to quote any bundles, but also products that are not part of that bundle in the same quote, it's not a problem. You can do that with any problems, only selecting the line items inside your HubSpot as you are using it. Now let's see if you have multiple bundles and you want to quote everything. So let's imagine that you want to quote 3 different packages for your client in the same quote, and each of those bundles has 3 or 4 products associated with it. So if you were creating those bundles manually, that quote manually, you would have to select each one of the products that are associated with that bundle. But if you have already the bundles created in the process that I show you, so here we have now the desktop basic kit, the laptop pro kit, and the desktop professional kit. So we have 3 different bundles. We will select only those products, only the bundles. And again, when we select those, we expect the automation runs and associate automatically all the line items included for those bundles into the deal. So we don't have to select each one of those products manually. So let's see here, the automation right now is running, and soon we expect to have all those line items inside our deal and also be able to present in the document. So we have the document here. We can refresh the page in HubSpot, and before we have 3 line items associated. It was the 3 bundles that we selected, and now we have 19 products associated with the deal, all the products that were included in each one of those bundles. So if we go back to our document, we can refresh the data, and we will have all those products on the pricing table here presenting. And here we have the desktop basic kit, the price of it, and all the line items that are associated with that kit showing included. Then we have the second bundle with the price, and the same thing, the products that are associated with that bundle showing included. And then we have the third bundle. Same thing, the price and all the products associated with that. And in the total, we have the sum of each one of those bundles. Again, if you want to quote also products that are not inside of these bundles, we could select those from the product catalog, and it would show the price here, and the total would be updated. The price of each bundle here is the sum of the prices of each one of the line items. But it's not a rule. You can do, however, if you want to give a discount, for example, to selling packages, you can select in HubSpot the discount of the line item, and it will be here, the price updated. You can show the price as well, it's not a problem. And if you can see here, you can also select, of course, the quantity of each line item that are associated with that bundle. So here in the desktop professional kit, we have training software, and it's included in the package, but not only 1 hour, but 10 hours of training software are included. So you could select if a desktop, the quantity of desktops that are inside that bundle that should be associated with that bundle and so on. And when the automation runs, it would be updated automatically inside your deal. So you would have the right quantity of items that you need in your deal. Okay, so making a summary, the key takeaways, what HubSpot and PandaDoc can offer. So first thing that PandaDoc can offer you is fully customizable quotes. So you can use images, you can use videos, you can include other types of documents inside your template. So if you want to present, depending on the information that you have on your deal, you can present different documents or different images or different videos, and also, of course, the e-signature workflows. What HubSpot and PandaDoc can offer you is real bundle management. So you don't need a third app that does this quote management, this bundle management. If you have 2 different sources, two different systems that you control your catalog, your product catalog. For example, if you have HubSpot and Shopify, and you want both information to be updated in both of them, it's a problem if you are not able to manage bundles inside HubSpot, because Shopify can. So how do you keep this data, this information right on both systems? It's really hard. So if you are able to manage bundles inside HubSpot as well, you will not have a problem. And if you don't want to use any other platform, only HubSpot to quote, to manage your product, but you need packages, that's okay. You can use HubSpot to manage that as we show you. So you can create, you can update you can delete bundles, and you can even update bundles to add new products on it directly on HubSpot and quote them using the templates from PandaDoc. You can have smart rules to improve your quoting process and support your sales team. What does it mean? In general, salesperson are not so technical as technical persons are two different roles. And if your product is really technical, so for example, the manufacturer industry, but any other technical area, if you have different equipments with different versions and different softwares that can apply for different equipments, that is a mess for salespeople. So what they should quote, because there are some equipments that cannot be sold with some softwares, and it's hard to manage everything, all of that. So the first thing that you would need is a good documentation of your products and which equipments can be sold with which softwares and with which accessories. But anyway, even if you have that documentation, the salesperson, when he was creating the quote, he would have to go to the documentation and understand, can I quote equipment A with software A, or it will not run together? I don't know, I will have to see in the documentation, and it's a waste of time. So what you can do is to implement smart rules on this process that we showed you. So if the salesperson is quoting an equipment, a package, and he selects an equipment and a software that cannot run together, you can create a rule for that. So to show a message for your sales, for your salesperson showing, for your SDR showing, you cannot quote these products. They will not run together, or these services together. This way you can make less mistakes when you are quoting, so you don't quote things that will not run together. And you can also save time of your technical team, because they will not have to ask those questions always. And also for your sales team, that will make that better. So, and the last thing that we can do here is keeping track of multiple documents. So if you have to present from HubSpot different quotes for the same client, for the same deal, but you have to present, for example, 3 options of quotes, you can do that. And with a custom object, you can save the information for each one of those quotes, and you will be always on track. The same thing if you need to present invoices, packing slips, or any other document using PandaDoc directly from HubSpot. If you have multiple documents, you can keep on track of each one of those documents associated with the deal, keep on track of the status of each one of those documents, and also all the information that you have in each one of those documents. So one day, if you want to run a report of each quote for each deal that you quote, you would be able to do that report, bringing the information of each quote directly for that and associated with that deal. So that's it. HubSpot and PandaDoc are 2 really good systems. HubSpot has its limitations, for example, as bundles, but any other platform has some limitations. But together here, we can cover those limitations and keep your process of quoting more simple and also faster to do.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you so much, Sílvia. Let me add you here. Now, let's open for Q&A. Does anyone have a question for our speakers? No questions? All right. So if later on someone has a question, feel free to reach us. Again, thank you so much, Samuel, and thank you so much, Sílvia. Okay, we do have a question. What industry is this best for, the solution? Who wants to answer?
I can answer that. It depends, but for any industry that would be important if you need to present your products in packages and kits. So it could be any industry. But for manufacturing industry, that's a clear need. So probably any manufacturer would need present. If they don't want to present the products in packages, they at least have this logic of, some equipments can be sold with some softwares, but not with others and things like that. So it's the same logic of creating packages, but now creating this logic of what can be sold, which products can be sold with which other accessories or softwares. So for manufacturing industry, that's a clear need.
Okay, we have two more questions. Is it possible to update existing bundles?
Yes, and that's a good question. Anytime that you need or to update the price of a bundle or to update the line items that are included in a bundle, you can do that easily on the product using your product catalog. So you can select new line items that will be included on that bundle. You can delete some line items that were included before and you don't want anymore. Or even if you just want to change the name of it, you can update for sure with no problems.
Okay, well, actually, we have a few more questions. The next one is, on a scale from 1 to 10, how difficult is this solution to implement? Can I implement it on my own?
Well, that's a good question. It was hard to implement the first time because it's a feature that doesn't exist in HubSpot, and also HubSpot doesn't have all the tools that you need to create that. So you need a little bit of creativity. But now that we already implemented, that we have already all these answers of how to implement it, we could do it more. It would be easier to implement. What do you need to implement that? First thing is Data Hub from HubSpot. So you need access for custom code inside HubSpot. If you don't want to use any other middleware, if you want to use other software to code, that's okay as well. You can do that. If you want to keep all your process inside HubSpot, you will need the Data Hub to have access for the custom code, and from there you can code the solution, and yeah, you will be able to implement bundle. So in the scale of 1 to 10, I would say that to implement this solution from 0, if you don't have anything, it will be a 10. But for now, if you want to implement to replicate the implementation, now we have the way to do that easier.
The next one, when should I use PandaDoc versus HubSpot Quote Tool?
I think it means when using to create documents, maybe if creating from PandaDoc or creating from HubSpot.
Yes, right. Yeah. When PandaDoc is needed.
Yeah, because so if you're using HubSpot as your CRM, then you want to use both of them together, as we kind of showed. You start it in HubSpot, and then you can just send it to PandaDoc to generate your document. Because we can do more complex rules in our quote tool, but the issue, we can do bundles in PandaDoc, but it wouldn't send the bundles to HubSpot without that Samuel built. So
yes, exactly. PandaDoc has a feature of bundles, so you can manage. If you want to manage the bundles inside PandaDoc, you can do that. The problem is if you have your product catalog inside HubSpot, but want to manage only bundles in PandaDoc, so you will lose information on this. You will lose the track of what you were quoting. Mm-hmm. But if you don't need that, if you don't need the information of the line items that you are quoting and you just want to present the quote for the client, that's okay. You can use directly from PandaDoc the bundle feature, and you will be able to present key products on bundles.
Okay. Next question. Can you have 100,000 plus SKUs important to PandaDoc or HubSpot?
In the PandaDoc catalog itself, I don't think there's a limit. With the integration, like when you're pulling products from a HubSpot deal into the PandaDoc document, I haven't really seen a use case where you would have 100,000 plus products in a single document or quote. And there is a limit of 500 per quote block. Although we don't recommend more than 100, it's just the processing time of pulling all of those. It just slows it down a little bit more, but it can.
Yeah, I think he's asking about if you can have on the product catalog, not in a single document. In a single document is I don't think there's a use case for that. But yeah, in HubSpot you don't have records that you can have for each object, so you can have that amount of products inside the product catalog with no problems.
All right. And I see here one more question, which is, what is the first step to implementing a quoting process in HubSpot for a company?
The first thing is to understand exactly what you need and to map all the details and understand if there's anything that we are missing. Because with the mapping, it will be clear what we can implement and how we can implement. So the first step is mapping everything. So what type of documents you need to generate, when do you need to generate, and how it should be. After that, we will have the answers on how to implement it the best way.
All right. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much, Samuel. Thank you, Sílvia. And thank you, everyone who joined us today. Samuel, if you can press to the QR code that you had for the next slide, please. Because if you are interested in the solution we showed, you can scan this QR code on the screen to book a meeting with one of our experts and learn how to implement this solution in your company. And I have one amazing thing, which is one lucky participant will get the solution for free. So scan the QR code today and connect with us. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.